All right, so hello everyone. My name is Jacob Wolf, and I'm an industrial designer. Actually, I am the only industrial designer at Mount Sinai. And I work with a group called Sinai Design. We're located in the Department of Neurosurgery. And my talk today is on translating and implementing industrial design into the hospital setting. Now that's a long title. Well, I've already told you my name, but I was born and raised here in New York City, and I love this city. So much I actually went to college here. I went to Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, New York, and it's here where I studied industrial design. I can say that in many ways, the current core principles and understandings of industrial design were found in Pratt's curriculum. I can also say now, well, actually, let me take a better step back and address the elephant in the room. What really is industrial design? And how many people here, by a show of hands, know of an industrial designer or know anything about industrial design? Wow, cool. We got more people than I thought we would. That's pretty awesome. Well, let me go by saying it like this. Industrial design is more a way of viewing the world than anything else. Now, that's my philosophy. But when it comes down to practice, industrial design yields closer to products. Now, that word product, it's almost as ambiguous or more so than the phrase industrial design. Now, don't be mistaken. This is in fact intentional, because industrial design within itself is vague. Now, whether it comes down closer to yielding to shoes, tabletop, furniture, or lighting, no one industrial designer has the same set of skills. But we all share an acute eye for the world and the things around us. So to put it simply, it's like keeping one eye open and one eye closed at all time. And what I mean by this is keeping an open yet objective opinion to everything and all the problems you're looking at. Now, let me show you a little example of what I mean by this before I start going into what we do at Sinai Design. I presume a lot of people here know about the kitchen company and appliance company named OXO. OXO is founded on their good grip technologies, but what you probably don't know about all this and everything about OXO is that their good grip technologies are based around these fins. And these fins are an interesting creation. OXO was founded by Sam Farber, and that next to him is his wife, Betsy. Betsy has arthritis in her hands and actually was the inspiration for Sam's creation of the good grip technology through OXO. So these fins, as Sam would say, and as he found, utilizing experimentation through different materials, and what he ended up using was a material called TPR, which was mainly used in the automotive industry. But what he found is by creating slices within this material, that he created a product that was, as he said, fun to touch. Now, this idea of fun to touch, it seems silly, but it's actually a really clear and directive way of dictating and telling how a product should be used by the user. Let me show you another example of this. This is a Michael Graves teapot. You might not know it, but it's one of the most famous teapots in the world. It's pretty ironic because it doesn't whistle too well. But its colors chosen for its color palette is extremely intentional. If you look at the handle, it's blue. And you probably would associate that with being cool, so you know to put your hand there. Comparatively to the spout, which is red, which I usually identify as being hot, unless maybe, depending on who's colorblind in here, I'm really sorry about that. But anyway, anyway. But so, another really prime example of showing how color dictation and how a product can dictate the user's interaction with the product through color is found in the North American anesthesia gas color codes. If we can see here, medical air is yellow, nitrous oxide is blue, yes, that's correct, oxygen is green, and so on. You could argue that a more effective way of going about this would be doing something along the lines of QR codes. But to be honest, the idea of an anesthesiologist having to interact with a QR code for every single connection that they have to make on a day-to-day would, in my opinion, be insane. I think that it would get the job done and it would do it really well, but it would come at the cost of time and efficiency, and rather convenience, which in my opinion is in some ways more so important than, or just as important as the efficiency. Now, let me take a pause there briefly and show you some of the stuff we do at Sinai Design and how a designer can help to push the everyday thought and process as well as utilizing creative outlook to everyday operations. Our group is mostly driven, like I said earlier, we're an innovation medtech incubator group located in the Department of Neurosurgery. Much of our work is based in this department. However, we cross over into anesthesiology as well as radiology. Our group, for the most part, is IP driven, along with product licensing and biotech start creation. So to put it simply, we take doctors' problems and fix them so that they can fix others. So all of this starts, though, with a need. And with that need, we iterate and iterate until we come up with a solution. And with that solution, a product. Now, as an industrial designer, I can say we do a multitude of things that keep the gears spinning. A designer's work can range from illustrating and creating graphics for patent use, generating technical draftings, modeling and fabricating 3D models, as well as prototyping in-house products. And most importantly of all of those things, pushing the boundary of thought amongst one's peers. Now, despite being very technical, I really want to emphasize the importance of an arts education, especially for me and my outlooks, because all of this really drives into my creative groundings. I know while creatives as a whole can seem like they keep the conversation rolling in all sorts of ways, I believe the relevance of a designer is a spark of conduit for conversation. As such, a designer's job is to always keep questioning what you are looking at and the solution at hand. However, curiosity is not doubt and should not be doubt. And what I mean by this is always keep questioning, but don't believe through that something is not what it should be or what it is. You have to always keep an open mind. So, what I think many doctors and others truly forget to realize at moments is that some of the day-to-day frustrations, also I should say, a good designer is always one eye and one eye closed. One eye open and one eye closed, just like I said earlier. But I think that one of the many problems that doctors, physicians, nurses, and technicians seem to find on a day-to-day is that they believe that these everyday problems with products are a necessary evil that they have to live with. While that doesn't really have to be the case, because we can and will find a solution for all of these things if we put our mind to it. And I think that's one of the things a creative brings to the academic fields. Now, I know it may sound cliche, but I believe it's opportunities like these that open up a world for a new possibility of pioneering innovation that can help to build a better tomorrow and an environment for clinicians, nurses, technicians, while also building a better quality of life for the patients we serve. Thank you.